In the distant past, when gods still walked among men and destiny was shaped by the hands of mortals, there existed a kingdom called Hastinapura. It was a realm of power, wisdom, and intrigue, where the seeds of the greatest epic ever told, the Mahabharata, were sown. This is a tale of brothers and betrayal, of love and loss, of duty and the eternal struggle between right and wrong. In the land of Hastinapura, King Shantanu ruled with justice and wisdom. His heart, however, was restless until he met the ethereal goddess, Ganga. Their union was blessed with a son, Devavrata, later known as Bhishma, a man destined for greatness. Yet, fate's wheel turned, and Shantanu fell in love once more, this time with Satyavati, a fisherwoman whose beauty and virtue captured the king's heart. To secure his father's happiness, Devavrata made a vow that would echo through the ages. He renounced his claim to the throne and swore lifelong celibacy. The gods themselves trembled at his resolve, and from that day, he became known as Bhishma, the one with the terrible oath. Through Satyavati, the royal lineage flourished. Her sons, Chitrangada and Vichitravirya, ascended the throne. But destiny was unforgiving. The brothers perished young, leaving the kingdom without an heir. In desperation, Satyavati summoned her son Vyasa, born of sage Parashara and herself, to father sons with the widowed queens through the ancient practice of niyoga. Thus were born Dhritarashtra, blind from birth, and Pandu. Du, fair and strong, Dhritarashtra, though the eldest, could not rule due to his blindness. Pandu became king, and under his reign, the kingdom prospered. Yet, happiness was fleeting. A curse befell Pandu, forbidding him from fathering children. His queens, Kunti and Madri, turned to the gods for blessings. Through sacred mantras, Kunti bore Yudhishthira, Bhima, and Arjuna, while Madri was blessed with the twins, Nakula and Sahadeva. These five, known as the Pandavas, grew in strength and virtue, destined for greatness. Dhritarashtra, meanwhile, fathered 100 sons through Gandhari, the eldest of whom was Duryodhana. From childhood, rivalry sparked between the Kauravas and the Pandavas. Duryodhana, driven by jealousy, sought to undermine the Pandavas at every turn. Their games and studies under the watchful eyes of Bhishma and their teacher Drona set the stage for a conflict that would engulf the world. The test of arms revealed Arjuna to be peerless, his skill with the bow unmatched. But lurking in the shadows was Karna, a warrior of mysterious birth, whose loyalty to Duryodhana would change the fate of all. Karna, denied the respect he deserved due to his unknown parentage, found acceptance in Duryodhana, who crowned him king of Anga. This bond would one day be tested in the fires of war. Tensions reached a boiling point when Duryodhana, with cunning Shakuni at his side, devised a plan to rid himself of the Pandavas. He invited them to a palace of Lak, a house built to burn. But the Pandavas, warned in time, escaped into the forest. There, in disguise, they wandered, facing trials and forging alliances. It was during this exile that Arjuna won the hand of Draupadi, the fiery princess of Panchala, in a contest of skill. Bound by their mother's words, Draupadi became wife to all 5 brothers, a union that would test their unity and resolve. Returning to Hastinapura, the Pandavas were granted a portion of the kingdom, a barren land called Kandavaprastha. Through their determination, they transformed it into the magnificent city of Indraprastha. Their prosperity, however, only deepened Duryodhana's envy. Determined to reclaim supremacy, he challenged Yudhishthira to a game of dice, manipulated by Shakuni's deceitful hands. In the fateful hall, the Pandavas lost everything: their kingdom, their wealth, and even Draupadi, who was dragged before the assembly and humiliated. In that moment, Bhima swore vengeance, and Draupadi demanded justice. The elders, bound by duty and custom, remained silent. In the end, the Pandavas were condemned to 13 years of exile, the last to be spent in incognito. Years passed in forests and foreign lands. The Pandavas endured hardships, learned from sages, and prepared for the inevitable. Arjuna acquired divine weapons, while Bhima's strength grew legendary. Draupadi's resolve never wavered, her her spirit unbroken by suffering. As the years drew to a close, the call for war became unavoidable. The Kauravas refused to return the kingdom, despite Krishna's efforts as a messenger of peace. Krishna, the incarnation of the divine, offered counsel and solace to the Pandavas. On the battlefield of Kurukshetra, as armies assembled and the world held its breath, Arjuna faltered, torn by doubt. It was then that Krishna revealed the timeless wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita, urging Arjuna to fulfill his duty without attachment to the results. The war began. 18 days of bloodshed and valor, of heroism and heartbreak. Legends clashed. Bhishma, the grandsire, fell to Arjuna's arrows, pierced by his own devotion. Drona, the master, was felled by deception. Karna met his end at the hands of Arjuna, his true heritage revealed too late. Brothers, sons, and friends perished on both sides. On the final day, Duryodhana, mortally wounded, watched his dreams crumble. The Pandavas, victorious yet hollow, surveyed the desolation. Yudhishthira ascended the throne, but the price of victory weighed heavily on his conscience. In the end, the Pandavas renounced the world, seeking peace in the Himalayas, leaving behind a legacy of virtue, courage, and the eternal struggle for righteousness. The Mahabharata endures not merely as a tale of war, but as a mirror to humanity's soul. It teaches that dharma, or righteousness, is complex, that choices carry consequences, and that in the end, truth prevails, even at great cost. The story lives on, timeless and universal, reminding us that the greatest battles are often fought within ourselves.